My name is Michelle Erickson. I'm the Executive Director of Wisconsin Literacy, Inc. and Wisconsin Health Literacy, and it's really good to be together, even if virtually. So thank you so much for joining us today for our annual members meeting. I would like just to start out quickly by introducing our staff. We have with us today Liz Fitzpatrick, who many of you hear from regularly on a basis. She's going to give a wave if you can see. Again, we're not sure we'll keep our cameras on the whole time when we're not speaking, but I just wanted to provide a small visual while we're doing introductions. Liz, our communications and data manager. Heidi Frankson, who is our fund development manager, is here with us. Debbie Hutchin, who is our finance director in administration. Stan Hudson is our health literacy director, is here. We have two other health literacy staff people, Caitlin Mowat and Carrie Lascala, who many of you know from workshops, health literacy workshops. They are unfortunately not able to be with us, but on our health literacy team. And of course, then many of you know our regional literacy consultants, Marcia Connett from the Southeast, Beth Gaetan from the South Central and Southwest, and Anna Beer from the Northeast, and our community coordinators, which are new to us since last year. And we have Shannon Mason-Young in the Northwest, and we have Cassie McLean in our new region in the north central part of the state. So I'm really happy to have our staff be with us today and share the great work that they are doing with you. So welcome everybody. We also have some board members here. I believe we'll be introducing our chair, Bill Boyle, in a minute. And I think I see Jessica Doyle on our board, and I think Julie First-Bow is here, and I don't know if I'm missing anyone else. I can't see everybody at once, but we're grateful for our board members as well. So thanks for being here. I just want to quickly then, we will pull up the agenda, and if we scroll down, I would like to have a motion just to start the meeting to accept the minutes from last year's annual meeting, last October 16th.
You'll have to unmute to do that.
This is Holly McCoy. If I'm on the board, can I make the motion as a member?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to make a motion to approve last year's meeting notes.
Seconded.
And Holly, I'm sorry, Holly and Liz Hart, I'm thinking of members, but they are also representing you on our board of directors. So thanks for being here. Okay, so moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Any opposed? Okay, you'll see today's agenda is up on the screen. We are going to start out. Before I welcome new board members, I want to just say four brief comments about some of the things that we've been doing at Wisconsin Literacy and Wisconsin Health Literacy. Our Health Literacy Division has been working to provide a lot of digital skill training with some health online workshops. So some of you, again, have participated in that for your members. Those are continuing, and we're working those in virtual formats. We're looking to begin again, if funding comes through, information and workshops around flu vaccine, which will be really important this year given COVID. There's a lot of concern up there about flu vaccination during the pandemic. We hope to have more on that. And also we're working in our health division to provide health equity services for healthcare. So that's some of the things our health literacy division has been working on this past year and during COVID. Secondly, I wanted to share that we are working Wisconsin Literacy as a team very much to respond to the needs of community-based literacy during COVID. We've been doing a lot of professional development. I know many of you have been taking advantage of that. Currently right now, we are working to secure technology resources through a federal COVID funds coming through the governor's office. We don't know about those yet, but that's something that we're working. We know many of you have totally flipped your delivery method, and we want to try our best to help support what that all involves. Also, I want to let you know we recently hired a marketing and advertising firm that works with nonprofits, just focused on increasing social media presence around literacy. So that will be mostly on the Facebook platform and Instagram platform in 3 major media markets. So you will start seeing perhaps advertisings for just literacy to engage people more in this conversation about what is happening around the state in literacy. And then also I wanted to share that we had a terrific adult education and family literacy week where we engaged with legislators from across the state to tell us why they championed literacy. We will be working with these same legislators in the spring, in the winter and spring during the government state agency budget process for the governor's budget. And we are working with them to advocate again for the GED literacy services that many of you participate in that is offered through the Department of Children and Families. So those are federal funds that come through our state. We will need to advocate for those again to continue that program. So we're hopeful to do that with those legislators. So that's just a really brief update. We're going to hear more from our board chair, Bill Boyle, in just a second. I would first like to welcome John Gilgenbach from Adult Learning Center, who is now going to be joining the board, and thank Holly McCoy, who's been with us for her, is completing a 3-year term. We're now moving to 2-year terms, but Holly has been with us and stepped in. And again, thank you, Holly, for your service. Liz Hart from Literacy Chippewa Valley will continue on for another year of service to the board. And welcome, John.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Excited to join the board and do what I can and to learn from all of you, my colleagues here. I've been with teaching with the Adult Learning Center since 2003. Started actually as a public ally, my placement back then, and just kind of never left. I've worked with adult students for 17 years at this point, and came on as director here at the Adult Learning Center last summer, back in July of 2019. Very happy to participate and contribute all I can. Thank you very much.
Happy to have you. Thank you. And I'd like to welcome Bill Boyle, our board chair. Bill has served on our board. I think we're in our 6th year or so, and Bill is with Northwestern Mutual Foundation, and he has been leading the way for our board during this time. So he's going to provide an update on where we've been and where we're going. Bill?
Thank you, Michelle. I just want to thank everyone on the call and our members. Just a little shout out to, through Michelle and the regional representatives, I learn a lot and hear a lot about how all of you are learning and teaching, both learning and teaching new skills to continue to deliver on your missions. And there's a lot of secret heroes on this call. I know a lot of times you're not front and center, but I wish we could remove through advocacy and awareness the secret part. But thank you so much for what you do. To us, you are definitely heroes. So hard to envision a cause more important right now with everything going on than the work that you all do. So thank you for that. A bit of background. I think 5 years ago, I was newer to probably not even a year, but in Wisconsin literacy. And I I brought in an expert around plan giving to this same meeting for a breakout session. And it's hard to think that was 5 years ago, but over that time, we've all been through a lot, and I got to witness a lot of great stories. I've got to watch Michelle and her team deliver on great works, and I'm very proud of Wisconsin Literacy, both Michelle and even more importantly, the staff, for everything that they've done during this time, both the 5 years and then most recently. So, I've been with the organization for, like Michelle said, 6 years. And this is a challenging time. There's no doubt, right? Like I'd say Michelle likes to use this word a lot, and it's true. Like it's been like a year of pivots. Kind of starting right away with our virtual celebration. I'm getting feedback. Is everyone getting that same feedback?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm talking too loud or.
We need to make sure everybody's muted, perhaps. If you can all make sure you're just muted, I think that might help.
Yeah, whoever the sort of admin is on this particular meeting can go in and manually mute people too.
We're muted, I think.
I don't know. I don't think you're muted. Maybe you are now. So starting with that.
Deb Hellquist, I think you're not muted. There you go.
Oh, she is. There we go. So starting just back early on with our celebration, like that's a great time every 2 years that we all get together. There was we didn't know really how to react, and virtual events weren't really quite a thing yet. And I'd say to Liz kind of took that and did a great job with pulling off an amazing celebration virtually, and we're really proud of that event. And then I'd say that we've been working on trying to deliver to the members through professional development, through hotspots, Zoom accounts, but to stay engaged with our learners and your learners, really, like it's a different process than it was before, right? Like, and so I think kudos to everyone on the call and the organizations for both you and helping with your tutors learn new skills to continue to engage with learners to help them move forward. And I think Wisconsin Literacy and all of you have probably most everyone's working from home, I would assume. But that's been a change and something that we've done really well as an organization. I'm really proud of Michelle's leadership and helping Wisconsin Literacy continue to deliver, and just proud. So it's been quite that. I mean, I don't know if everyone else feels like this, but this last 6 months feels like it's been like 3 to 4 years. I think probably 3 to 4 years worth of gray hair. That could be because my 1.5-year-old still doesn't sleep, but I'll blame that on COVID too, or at least 2020. I guess a little bit just in regards to stability during COVID, both from a deliverable to our members, but also Wisconsin Literacy is not unaffected. I know all of you are affected, but more specifically around some federal funding. I don't think I'll go into great detail, but Wisconsin Literacy definitely we've had some financial speed bumps, hurdles, some planned, some unplanned, but the staff has responded at a tough time, because a lot of time that means cuts to them, either in compensation or hours, but they're still out there delivering in new ways, and I think maybe, and I could argue, delivering at a even more so in a time that we've experienced cuts from the federal level, and I think technology is helping a bit with that, especially with travel time and that kind of stuff has changed a bit. But so we've definitely just seeing it close and being part of those discussions. Michelle and Debbie and the team have done a great job on when funding's not vast, figuring out ways to still deliver and further the mission. So we're really proud of the staff and Michelle and the team for that as well. And I think there's, like, where we're headed, I think there's more opportunities in the sense that, I mean, there's no doubt that health equity and literacy around technology or communication that gets sent home with some of our learners' kids from school, like it's all presented in a different way. So I think there's continued opportunity for us to further the mission, to a further advocate some examples just are that we think of just like healthcare plain language in the school systems. Health equity is front and center during all of this. I think it brings up kind of the last thing I want to hit at is we are deep into a strategic plan. Wisconsin Literacy is an organization where board members and staff members are coming together to figure out like the next 3 to 5 years of Wisconsin literacy and what's important and how to meet like our stakeholders' needs and continue on. And I think it wasn't planned this way, but to have a strategic be going through that exercise, that strategic planning exercise right now, I think is going to benefit literacy around Wisconsin for the years to come. So that's a bit. I'm sure I missed something when Michelle asked me to speak. I knew I would not do as good of a job as her, but she does so much that I wanted to help out in a small way. And I thought, just since this is one of my first experiences with the member agencies was that 5 years ago when we did that breakout session, I thought this would be a good way now that I've kind of learned a lot over the years and now sit as the chair, that I could help out. So thank you all for joining. We're excited for some great programming and some opportunity to learn. And again, thank you for being our heroes for sure.
Thank you so much, Bill. I appreciate your comments and all the time that you dedicate to our board and leading us in a really positive direction, especially during this challenging time. But thanks for being here. We're going to move now. We really want to spend some time hearing from you. I know we all miss like being together physically in the same place, usually in Appleton, and having all that time to network. And without that today, we're hoping to send everyone into a breakout room where you'll have a smaller group to actually unmute yourself and kind of discuss the wows and the pows from this year. It is really a different world out there than when we met last. And we wanted to have the time to learn from each other about some of the things that you've discovered during this time that have really moved your agency forward, and some of the things that have challenges that you've been able to overcome that also might have moved your agency forward or perhaps temporarily taken a step back. But if you can share your wows and pows in these small groups, you'll find yourself in a breakout room in a moment, and there should be Wisconsin literacy staff, I believe, in those rooms that can facilitate. If not, again, jump in, as you all know how to do very well, and we'll take 20 minutes just to share your wows and pows during this last calendar year. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you were able to share some wows and pows, and that you'll also use our website to connect to the other agencies that you heard from if you want additional information. They're all the contact information for those of you who are newer to Wisconsin literacy can be found on our website or through your RLC for sure. So I'm just going to have another reminder that everybody just might mute if they are not muted right now. And we are really happy, and many of you know that have been involved in our Department of Children and Families project through TANF, Temporary Assistance to Needy Families program, where we're providing GED services and literacy services through that federal funded grant. And so we are really happy today to have Corinne Belk from Forward Services Corp. That's one of the W-2 agencies that we've been working with. In a little bit, Liz is going to put up a map of their service area, which is a really big, wide swath across the state of Wisconsin. You all have other W-2 providers, and we'll look at that map too, so you can get a better look at which counties are represented. But Corinne is the program coordinator at Forward Service Corporation, and she's going to share with us today a little bit about how they have adapted to COVID and serving many of the adults that you are also serving in your literacy programs, and how we can better connect to keep a steady stream of referrals between W-2 agencies and literacy agencies for further learning. So Corinne, thanks for being with us.
Standing, thank you. I'm happy to be here. I had joined a couple of years ago on the meeting in person in Madison. So glad to see you guys are adapting as we all are amongst all this. So I'm happy to be able to join Again, so I'm Corinne Belk. As she had pointed out, I do work for Forward Service Corporation, one of the W-2 agencies throughout the state. You guys can see the regional map up on the screen. I cover what's the orange area down in the bottom, the southeast for us. So we do align with the Workforce Development Board region. So for us, that would be where the 6 is labeled on the map. But I do want to let you guys know, if you don't know who your contact is, who might cover your area locally, please do reach out. I am definitely willing to do warm introductions. We also have connections outside of FSC as well to make sure that you guys are connected for the W-2 agencies. So for Forward Service Corporation, we are an employment and training nonprofit that does operate across the state of Wisconsin. You can see we're in a lot of the counties, but we do just focus on the state of Wisconsin. So with Wisconsin Works, our program is available to low-income parents with minor children who do meet our eligibility requirements and are willing to work to their ability. Some of the things that W-2 does assist with are education support, childcare assistance, employer connections when they are ready to move into employment, training workshops, social security advocacy, career guidance. There is a cash benefit for some of our placements within the program. And then we help with interview and resume, as well as transportation assistance. So those are some of the main areas that we do help participants with. And one of the things that I did want to share, my breakout group have had some awesome things about the transition really from all of us working face-to-face into remote and virtual services and case management for us. So our company, one of the things that we really pride on is from our impact code is that we will embrace every day as a new day. We will be students and we will be innovative. Those are 3 that I really felt were a good fit for today. We are working on a program that DCF, you know, intends to be a face-to-face program, whether they are on-site, completing career assessments with us, even coming into the program. A lot of our trainings, they would stream from on-site. So we had to do all of those things to really be able to still deliver services when everything shut down. We are still delivering virtual case management. So you can see I'm in my office today. I work a hybrid of in my office and some remote still. And most of our facilities are still closed to the public though. So I sit at the Rock County Job Center at the bottom of the state in Janesville, Wisconsin. And our building is closed to the public other than a little bit for folks to come pick up if they have their mail delivered here as their default address. Anything that they may need for our program, we can still provide transportation vouchers and things like that. So the main way that we are connecting with our clients during COVID, we have gotten really, really innovative here. You know, we've always utilized phone a lot with our participants. You know, even when they're working, reaching them by phone can be a lot easier. So we do use text message as well. We use the remind.com service where they do opt in to receive those text messages. A lot of the people that we're working with, they're very, very mobile. They're very used to working on a cell phone or a tablet, but might struggle on a computer. So we try to kind of meet them where they're at for communication. If they have available and they are comfortable with allowing us into their home, if you will, we do try to do video appointments as well. So our agency has been using the Teams platform, brand new to us since the COVID shutdown, if you will. So we use that to connect video with our staff, with our participants for training, various different ways. One of the things that we really like about Teams is it allows us, if we're working with someone, for example, for their resume and updating that, it allows both our case manager or our job developer, as well as the participant, to be editing and see those changes in real time. So if we're working on customizing a resume for a specific job that we're gonna help them apply for, we can be making those changes and everyone can see it. So we have gotten creative. Usually we would do those things in person, and it's been nice to still have those opportunities to work with them. So in terms of exchange of documents, there are a lot of documentation requirements for the W-2 program. We have drop boxes at our facilities. So if it's easier for them to be out and about and drop off either a verification or we have activity logs for the different activities that they complete in our program, they can do that at our facilities even when we're closed to the public. We also did launch during this an online activity log submission site that they can go on and complete and log their activities through that. So if they completed an employment search, they can enter in the information of where they were completing that. Maybe they are in tech college, maybe they're working towards their GED. They can log those things online now and submit them that way. And they can do it from their cell phone, they can do it from their tablet, really any device that they can get online. So that's a lot of how our actual case management has changed. Our frequency has incredibly increased. We really try to have at least weekly contact with our participants. It's difficult when you're not seeing them to kind of establish that relationship and the trust sometimes when you're not in person. So our frequency of contact has definitely increased. And again, trying to use mediums that they're comfortable with, that they do feel safe communicating. So it is different for them as well as for us. So some of the challenges that we've seen in the process is our participants don't always have internet or the equipment needed to connect to us. We will, at any of our offices, we still will meet face-to-face if we do not have another way to connect with a participant. So we will make appointments. We have very rigorous safety measures that are in place to ensure that they are safe, as well as ourselves within our facilities or even meeting somewhere else. But really our goal at this point is if we can meet with them another way and have a viable connection, it's for the safety of all of us that's how we continue to do that. So one of the things that's been really neat is we do have supportive services funding that's tied to W-2. So we have been able to help some of our participants obtain mobile hotspots and data cards so that they can take place in training that they might not otherwise be able to take place in. Another challenge that we've seen is parents need to be home to virtual school, one or multiple children. And that can be really difficult to manage if they're already maybe working part-time, to figure that out around a work schedule. Daycare availability is very low right now, with daycares taking less children during this time. So it can be quite a balancing act between being able to complete W-2 activities for the program and then helping their own children with their schooling. So we're really trying to be flexible on what those hours might look like and ensure that they are able to help their children with homeschooling. A big opportunity for us during this time frame, as much as we have had to adjust to virtual case management, DCF has temporarily relaxed some of our supervision program requirements. So it has allowed participants to complete activities from home, and even as much as coming into the program. They now can request services by phone or through the Access app. So if they already receive Food Share, Badger Care, then they would already have the Access app where a lot of their documents and letters that they would receive are housed in there. So they are able to request. We can complete eligibility as well as placement into the program. Those can be completed by phone right now, which means that those that were having transportation or childcare issues can still complete that from their home and not have to come and make a separate trip to our facilities. Also, a lot of the activities that had to be done prior to this, at the facility under FSC staff supervision can now be done from their homes or another location. So a lot of our career assessments, we have a lot that are doing job search and online courses, as well as we do have a service delivery platform where we do have a whole workbook that allows them to map out their dreams. So when they come into the program, we're asking them what's their dream, and then really working with them on the stepping stones one by one to overcome the barriers so that they can obtain that dream. So sometimes education might be some of the barriers, sometimes there could be childcare barriers, different things like that that we're going to help them work through and kind of break it down to really obtain that dream there.
Corinne, can you share a little bit of the ways in which, and Liz is just putting up another W-2 providers map. So those of you who are not in the counties where Forward Service Corporation, which is the yellow, can see the W-2 agency that would be represented in your county. But Corinne, I'm wondering if you could share with us also just the way literacy agencies during this time might be able to help support your clients as well, or make sure that literacy agencies could be connecting with W-2 providers to welcome students into their programs.
Absolutely. And I think the best way is through, we're still available. A lot of us are in our offices. A lot of us are remote as well. Contact information has not changed. So our phones, our emails, everything is still the same. I know, for example, where we are, Stateline Literacy is in this area, and it is really helpful when we receive any updates that there are. So if there is an upcoming registration deadline or what kind of times things might be available to be offered is really helpful for us. So in terms of W-2, we have new participants that are coming into the program every single day we're completing placements. So we might have a plan for someone, but just as quick as we're helping that person, we have new folks coming into our door that may or may not be a fit. So I think for us, it's keeping that communication open. We can sign an ROI where we could have triangle meetings. We're doing triangle meetings with a lot of partner agencies right now, which is really helpful as well. So we can coordinate those with our case managers, where we can all be on video, it can be a phone, that sort of thing. So really, if we have our point of contact and we kind of keep each other updated on where we are at, that's probably the easiest way for us to continue to do referrals back and forth.
I just want to invite participants too in the chat box. If you have specific questions of Corinne, please feel free to type those into the chat box right now. And again, I'll just mention, we really appreciate everyone that's been participating in the GED and Literacy Services program. It's been a big opportunity for Wisconsin Literacy to advocate for resources for member agencies, from GED vouchers to curriculum resources to lots of different, even professional development. So we hope that, again, it's an interesting time in our state budget. We will be, as I mentioned early in the meeting, we'll be advocating for those funds. That 4-year funding is now up for renewal. So with state agencies having to cut due to COVID from their state agency budgets, we're still really hopeful that the federal funding for TANF eligible adults will continue to flow through our state and be appropriated to Department of Children and Families, and that we will be able to apply or submit a proposal to keep this program alive through Wisconsin Literacy and through your work, all the agency work that is going on to provide those services. So I don't know if there are any other questions in the chat box.
Deb had a question to Corinne, so I was going to ask Deb to unmute herself so she could ask. I think it was about to repeat something from the beginning. If Deb is still around, if you can unmute.
I just asked who to contact in Eau Claire County, but then I got an answer. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm the other Deb. And I had wondered, Corinne, if you could repeat from kind of near the beginning of your presentation. It was kind of like a little cheer that you tell yourself every day. And it started with every day is a new day. And I thought there were two other parts to it.
Yeah, so we have an impact code for Forward Service Corporation. So that spans all of the programs that we do offer. It's how we do business. We pride ourselves obviously in customer service. And I picked out a few of those statements to kind of share and relate to everything that we're going through right now. And those were, we will embrace every day as a new day. Much like you guys' line of work, we don't always know what we're going to encounter every day when we come in. So, you know, we leave our challenges kind of at the door when we leave for the day, have a work-life and family balance, and are ready for a new opportunity to kind of reinvent ourselves the next day and be creative about it. Also that we will be students, we're lifelong learners, and come with a program that has a lot of changes on an ongoing basis. So really focusing on being adaptable, being willing to learn from others and share those experiences. And then also we will be innovative. And we aren't scared to try new things. And a lot of this is new to us, really in the transition to virtual service offerings. So, you know, willing to think outside of the box, collaborate, and try new ideas. You never know where it's going to take you.
Thank you. Also, I wanted to ask, are you willing to share your dream booklet?
We, it is a copyrighted program that we do use for that. It's the Transition to Success model, which is TTS. So we've adapted it as kind of a service delivery model. So it is a full packet that they do obtain. But really what we're looking at with them is they identify coming into the program what their dream is. And sometimes as a parent, it's harder to think, what is it that I really want for myself? I've been giving to others in my role as a parent, but what is it that I want for myself? And sometimes it's employment related. A lot of times it might not be employment related. But for us, we can really help them break that down. It might be that they need to obtain their GED. To get kind of where do they need to be. Maybe they're overcoming, you know, AODA, and we need to refer out and kind of focus on that area for a little bit. So their dream could be anything. It could be that they want to own a pink Corvette. It could be maybe to have a home or stability for their family, things like that. And sometimes they know what they want to do. They might come in and they want to be, you know, a veterinarian. They have a little bit more defined path. So it's very, very individualized, but then really looking at those stepping stones of what it will take to get there to accomplish that dream for them. So, and then we kind of just keep referencing that dream and going back to help make it more of a realization. We celebrate every little success with them, no matter how big or small along the way as well. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Final questions for Corinne? Thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate it. As I said, we really are hoping to increase our connections and referrals and services to W-2 clients, and you know, help them find that educational pathway. I know so many of them are working hard on the work pathway, and we're hoping we can assist on that educational side of things. So thanks for the work you do, and thanks for being with us today.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah, and we are never early when we end a Wisconsin Literacy annual meeting, and we are actually 5 minutes early, which is, it's amazing. I don't know if this is dangerous or not, but if there are specific questions, either you want to put in the chat of Wisconsin Literacy, of the staff, of anything that was shared here during this meeting, you're welcome to put that in the chat. I think Liz will put the map in the link that's from our website is in the chat box if you want the map that was just shown that has all the different W-2s on there, so you can connect to the one in your county. But if you have a specific question and you'd like to unmute for a quick question or put it in the chat, we'll try to address those now in the last remaining 4 minutes. And it was really good to see all of you today. So thanks. And I also wanted to add this to you guys to remember when you're talking to other people in your communities, what you have done during these last 7 months has been quite remarkable. You've taken a delivery method of adult education with adults who are challenged to have the resources to access it, to have the skill set sometimes to be able to know how to do that. And you are continuing to just really decrease that digital divide in their homes and in their communities. And so it is really important work what you're doing. Wisconsin Literacy, I said, I have really trying to advocate for what you have done as a field of adult education and community-based literacy to decrease the digital divide. So again, don't be shy about bragging about the work you're doing to change your community and to open up opportunities for the students that you're serving, and the tutors too, who are also learning a whole new digital language. So you're doing a lot and it's greatly appreciated. Any questions in the chat box? Liz, do you want to, if there's anything, I'm not looking at both of those right now. So.
I didn't see anything. I just wanted to put a plug in for, we have a couple more sessions today. If they do fill up, we will be sending out webinar links, and that will exist also on that fall virtual conference page. So just to let you know, I think there's a TABE session happening, and then a jail literacy program during COVID that Lynn's leading, as well as virtual learning for low-level learners. And I got a sneak peek at the low-level learner, and that's going to be fantastic. And I recently talked to Lynn about all the wonderful work she's doing. That's going to be another great session. And Anna is, of course, very knowledgeable on TABE. So if you're needing that brush up or need to learn about that, she's going to be fantastic. So check out those sessions. That's all I was going to add. Otherwise, I think we're pretty much done. Michelle?
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really stay well and stay safe. And we hope next year we're all together again physically. But again, thanks for all that you're doing to move literacy forward in our state. We really appreciate it. Take care.